And we're live.
We're live, or we?
Well, no, we're not live. It's recorded.
We're pseudo live.
Yeah, there's no countdown on this one. It's just like you hit the button and it starts.
Right, and then the mics are hot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah.
I'm Pat.
I'm Will.
I'm Jeffrey.
What are we doing, Jeffrey?
Well, what we're trying to remember is that William had a conspiracy that he wanted to come in with, and I think it. Tell me if this jogs your memory. Does it have to do with the fact that I was describing the plot of They Live to you?
What was that?
That was where you put the sunglasses
Put
on.
the glasses on. I want to put the glasses on.
I don't.
God, that movie's so bad,
I
man.
knew he was going to say that. The
It's
movie's
so
fantastic.
bad. Yeah.
It reminds me of Free Guy a little bit.
Oh, I didn't.
I don't know.
You
what Free
didn't get
Guy
around to
is.
seeing it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, it's a Ryan Reynolds flick, so
Most things are.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, that's
It is
true, yeah.
everywhere.
As a matter of fact, I worked on a documentary between him and the Always Sunny in Philadelphia guy.
Charlie Day?
No.
I don't know the names.
Danny DeVito.
Oh, okay, I didn't know the name.
I always just started doing his voice.
One of the two
I own a
older brothers.
soccer team. No, it's the other guy. It's the guy that has kind of like the young looking face.
Okay, I don't know his name.
But anyway, it was about how the two of them bought a soccer team in Wales. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah, you're telling me about hoodlunism. What is it? Hoodlun.
No, not
Hooliganism.
Yes.
There we go. Yeah. Jesus.
I bet that. I don't know. Soccer. Did it cost as much as the Broncos?
Few things do.
I
Yeah.
didn't think
Very
so.
few.
But I
things
know
do.
soccer teams do. I just don't know if it's the right soccer team.
Well, and I think this is one of the things we were talking about was how the team that they bought was, so there's like the top league, which is the English Premier League, right?
Yeah.
And then there's like 4 other leagues underneath it, and you can graduate
Yes.
into those things. So that's why I don't think it was.
It's not a premier, but which one of the tiers it is
Well, if it's like the 4th tier, isn't it like a Pee-wee league or?
takes a lot of work to get up to the big leagues from there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, not like Pee-wee, but I knew a guy. Well, we knew a guy at the airport, Edmund. He used to play
Semi-pro. Yeah.
semi-pro football where you pay for your own uniforms.
I don't know. I can honestly say I have no idea.
This was the
Yeah.
most I'd ever learned about soccer in one setting, and they barely. He started out with the thing is I know dick about soccer.
Okay, that's me.
His whole rationale was these people in Wales remind me a lot of the people I grew up with in Philly.
Okay.
Does Ryan Reynolds know a lot about soccer? Is he
Nope.
English?
Nope,
Oh.
he's Canadian.
Oh, he's Canadian.
That's right.
Yeah.
They might have soccer there.
Oh, they do. No, they have soccer in Canada, but it's
in
just
Canada.
not. No, they have a team and everything. They have shoes. Yeah.
Right, yeah. It's
Did,
got colors, eh? You know?
did they give all their soccer players Boost Mobile?
They joked about that because the reason he said like, well, I needed to bring in Ryan Reynolds because he's like, I had the idea, but what I needed was it's like I have TV money, but what I needed was a partner that had superhero movie money and Boost Mobile money, and he just started he just railed off like 15 different things. Yeah, he's like and alcohol bearing money.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. He's got his own something. I can't. It's wine or whiskey
Yeah, it's
or
like a vodka or
vodka?
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just rattled off all these things that Ryan Reynolds does but never fails at.
Yeah.
And
That dude's my hero.
is he really?
He's awesome, dude. He's hilarious. I mean, most movies aren't always the greatest, but they always make me laugh. So it's worth the entertainment money.
All right. Well,
Yeah, okay.
if you're interested in supporting his soccer team, it is Wrexham. It is Rex, WREXHAM.
I was just about, is it spelled?
Wrexham.
Wrexham.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Yeah, if you're interested in supporting their team, that's it.
Still not enough to make me watch soccer.
Yeah, I can't imagine the cable package you need in order to get that.
Jeff's cable package
Well,
probably does.
Did you fix your cable? Or
Well, his
you have
illicit
oh
streaming
yeah, okay,
services.
it's sailing the seven seas there, matey. So, well, on that happy note, yeah. So, what was your conspiracy theory?
That's
I
what
can't remember. It
Yeah.
wasn't about the glasses. It was something totally, totally new, different. But I cannot think. And he said we should save it for up there. And I was like, oh yeah, we haven't even talked about anything like that before.
What, like any conspiracy stuff?
Well, no, we've definitely done conspiracy stuff.
Oh.
But
Was it kind of an out there one?
It was definitely not something that we.
we had not gone over.
No.
It may come to me during the show, and I'll
Let's
just be
let's
like,
just
Oh,
stop.
that's fine. Stop. Yeah.
have you watched? Are you going to watch any of the Obi-Wan?
Nah, probably not. I'm still on Star Wars band. So.
It's entertaining so far. It does do the whole continuum thing you'll be pissed at and all that stuff.
Yeah, I saw an article the other day where they were fairly convinced that the guy who directed it hadn't actually seen the other movies. So
He said so himself.
did he?
Something along the lines of like,
He's like, oh, so he knows who Darth Vader is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yes, yeah. So you saw that too.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He was like, well, I didn't even really know that until somebody pointed it out. We were already in production by then. You know, or something along those lines. Yeah.
no, he just he put it out there, and that, as I spoke to you about earlier, at that point, if you're not even willing to do the research to watch the movie that this character is in, you are just making product. You have no two poops to give when it comes to the actual art itself, or the source material, or trying to stay consistent, or anything.
Yeah. No, I'm so done with Star Wars. So
Better people than you laid the groundwork, and you guys are just. It's it's that fucking Men in Black thing. It's Vincent D'Onofrio, with a bug inside of him, and they're just making his corpse dance because
That was
Well,
a
that
good
was
movie.
Vincent D'Onofrio,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah.
But that was a good movie.
right, but the skin is Vincent D'Onofrio is Star Wars, and it's being puppeted.
Oh, okay.
He's got an
All right,
Edgar
all right,
suit
all right.
on, yeah,
I'm connecting the dots here.
All right,
Gotcha.
yeah, I got the metaphor now too. So, the other one that I saw that was getting absolutely review bombed today. Did you see it?
Which one?
The new Jurassic Park.
No, what's the?
It is supposed to be hot garbage. So yeah,
They're finally getting around to admitting it, or what?
yeah, kind of. So it's 2.5 hours long, and apparently, like, I don't know if you don't want to listen to spoilers, then fuck you and skip ahead right now. So, but it takes 2.5 hours to get through this movie. All 6 of the main characters, so the new ones and the old ones, don't even get together until the last 30 minutes of the movie.
Oh,
All right, that's not
That
terribly shocking.
So the reason for that being is there are so many plot lines going on. The thing's not actually supposed to be about dinosaurs. It's actually about locusts and an evil company that's trying to control the world's food supply. Can't even get through this sentence without it.
that's the
That's the
plot?
main plot. Yeah.
Interesting. I'm trying to figure out where the dinosaurs even fit into a plot like that.
Yeah, they pointed out, like, so in the movie, you see all the previews and stuff. There looks like all the dinosaurs live in the mountains and shit.
Yeah.
There's like 2 scenes in the entire movie that are in snow. So,
Huh.
and so it's like, yeah, you're better off just watching the trailer.
Now, all right, I'll give you this.
Okay.
Okay. Now, we have talked at length about every dumbass movie that does this, where we're like, yes, but if we can create these biological weapons, this is the most latitude I've ever given that, okay, is actually in the movie Alien, where
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure.
the xenomorph things are actually supposed to be this biological weapon, sort of,
Yeah.
and then the lore got kicked down the
Weird.
road a million
Yeah.
times, where it's like,
We gotta keep bringing Ripley back.
yeah, and then there's this like, oh, so they came from this weird range of like ancient Greek gods.
Yeah, these perfect Adonis, like,
This-
yeah,
okay,
that are
alright.
like 9 feet tall.
I don't remember what they call, like, they're not.
They're called the engineers, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think you're
yeah.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's Prometheus, right?
Yeah. Which I didn't hate. It was like,
I didn't hate that one either, man. But that, I mean, it was getting a little bit like, okay, you know. So this is like, if Lord of the Rings did make the Silmarillion, you'd have to really be into it in order to like that one, you know?
well, it's one of those things where the story doesn't benefit from more lore.
Right.
It doesn't. As a matter of fact, for all the wankage that Aliens gets, the whole concept of introducing an alien queen is sort of like contradictory to what the actual menace of the story is.
Yeah, later on, yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like, oh, okay, well, you're supposed to be this perfect thing where you lay an egg inside another thing, it takes on some of their DNA traits, pops out, and then lays its own eggs. But instead it's, no,
There's a bigger one.
there's a bigger one, and it lays the eggs.
Yeah, and you got to fight it with the robot crane. Yeah.
This is, yeah.
That's designed for lifting boxes.
This goes into Starship Troopers territory.
Yeah.
This is a smart movie for stupid-ass people. But
I did like Covenant, though. I think that was the last one that I saw.
it's fine.
I thought that one was just kind of fun.
It's
so
yeah. I mean, it feels like it's almost made out of like the cutting room floor of other alien movies.
Yeah.
Where it's
Yeah.
like, and I do like the vibe of like Prometheus. I do. There's something where it's creepy. It's got this.
It's definitely creepy.
You know, going back to the android is the enemy sort of thing. You know,
Yep.
kind of thing. I go, it's like, all right, that's fine. But yeah, so using the biological weapons as this, you know, instrument of control is kind of crappy, especially when, again, to bring it back to Vincent D'Onofrio, right? I'm making these dinosaurs to, you know, they'll kill Al Qaeda. It's like, oh man, bullets do that.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah, he wasn't that.
it was, yeah, I know.
You got the connection there, man.
I know,
Yeah, we had these fucking Tora Bora.
but what I will say is the idea of weaponizing bugs is actually meaningful because bullets don't shoot bugs all that well.
That's true.
Yeah, okay. I don't know, man. It's just like, so it blew up all over my phone this morning.
Oh.
And so, like, 3 different things, you know, like, right off the bat, were like, this is the worst Jurassic Park movie ever, but you're going to go watch it anyway.
Was that the article?
That
'Cause
was
that's
basically
pretty on point.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
on point. It said, yeah, so actually this one was kind of funny. It was like, well, we had this great movie Once Upon a Time where people went to an island and there were dinosaurs there and they had to escape the island. And then they came back to another island. And then they came back to the original island. And then they came back to that island, fixed it all up, and then left the island again. And then they left the island for good because it blew up. And that's where we are right now. They said after about halfway through this movie, you're going to recognize that it too is an island.
And unfortunately, you're in the rare circumstance where you have a 6-movie or so franchise, and you don't have a dude in the movie that you can refer to as, oh, that's Jurassic Park.
No. Because they've all been kind of they each kind of got their own movie or two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not even Chris Pratt, since he's got 3 of them now.
Chris Pratt's got. I mean, Chris Pratt will always be.
Star-Lord.
He's either Star-Lord or he's the dude
Office
from...
No, Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec, that's
Yeah,
right.
so that's where I met him, and so.
That's the question. Do you know him as yoked Chris Pratt or chubby Chris Pratt?
Chubby, I know him as Chubby Chris
Then
Pratt.
he's Parks and Rec.
Yeah, he's Parks and Rec.
Right.
The guy who slept in the fucking park, like, construction zone
Yeah.
for a month. Yeah.
Although I would argue that when you say, "Oh, Parks and Rec is in this," I would say it's Ron Swanson.
It's definitely Ron Swanson. So, but I mean, it's kind of like that John Krasinski guy. I mean, he's becoming a big movie dude and stuff. He's always going to be. He's always going to be The Office. Yeah.
Right.
So he's always Dwight Schrute's enemy. So, well, and then later frenemy, and then actually good buddy.
People have ire with that ending, but I actually kind of like the way that ended out.
Dude, that series ended great.
I was like, oh, this actually wraps things up in a way I feel comfortable with.
I had no heartburn with the end of that series.
No.
Yeah.
No.
The only thing that I was glad I was glad it ended because I was so tired of who was the manager after
Michael
Michael
Scott.
Scott. No,
Oh,
Michael Scott was great.
You're not talking
Iris
about Robert
Eldra was great.
You'd better not be talking about Robert California.
No, he's fine.
Spader, yeah.
Spader's fine. No, the other fucking guy.
That's
Ed
Helms.
Ed Helms, thank you.
Oh.
Man, I had enough Ed Helms after
Yeah.
half a season of him, and they exiled him to an island, and they brought him fucking back. I was like, why'd you guys do that?
with a more prominent role.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, no, I thought he fucked it up.
That's how you get promoted.
Apparently. So, but they only had like a year or two left at that point in time, so. And it was basically the Dwight Schrute show at that point. So. Ron Swanson was always Ron Swanson.
Yeah,
He's even that in everything else he plays.
I think it's just that guy.
That's who he is.
I don't think that's his name. That's
No, it's not his name.
No. Nick Offerman.
there
Nick
you
Offerman,
go. Oh,
yeah,
well
you're
done.
right,
Yeah,
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything else I ever see him in, he still has the beard. He's still, I mean, he might be like a federal agent or something else, but
Oh, he was a federal agent or something, wasn't he?
he was in comedies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the cast was like.
Serious dude.
Yeah, you know what? There's still some people that's like that for me. Like every time I see him, it's like, oh, Office Space is in this.
Oh yeah, Ron.
Oh
Livingston.
yeah. Band of Brothers came on.
Yeah,
the
Band
other
of
day, and I
Brothers.
was
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
Office Space.
dude.
And Ross.
And it's Ross. You can't say Friends is in this.
No, it's Ross.
It's Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know it's like if you can spot Chandler a mile away. So
Yeah.
Boy, all those guys are just all gone.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
see Phoebe every once in a while. And
Yeah, but
just
she's
a
the one who
bit
said,
hard.
"Wow, I have a lot of money.
Oh,
I don't have to do anything ever again," and really don't.
She pops up just to like
And-
do a voice and things.
It's just
It's
rare,
yeah.
or weird part. Oh, God, she was like the principal in a movie that I saw. I can't remember. So she had like 5 lines or something. It's like,
So she knew somebody. They were like, "Can you do this?
Can you
Like,
do this? Can you help
she's
us
like,
out?
yeah, I'm cool to do a day work. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen her coming in through like some cartoon voices every
Yeah.
now and then, or
Didn't they do a Joey show?
it did.
He did. I don't know. What
I think
happened to
it
I never-
face planted. So.
It
I
lasted
hear he's
like
fat as can be right
he's
now.
fat as hell.
Oh, he is.
Is he?
I thought Chandler was fat as hell.
I haven't
Well-
seen Chandler since like
Well, they did a reunion where
I
he was
watched
like,
that.
you could tell he was sloshed, man. Just,
I didn't see the reunion.
Yeah, he looks
Yeah.
like a dude that's been on drugs and off of drugs and gained a ton of weight and lost a ton of weight.
yeah.
He's like, man, your skin, like, just doesn't look right. He was like the wrong color. Joey's fat as hell,
Joey is so chubby. Yeah,
which they joked about on the show.
they did.
Gotcha.
And of course, and Jennifer Aniston has worked like consistently.
She's everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's everywhere. Yeah.
and Courtney Cox kind of looks weird now.
Her face just not.
Yeah,
She's had too much surgery.
Maybe, yeah.
no, I've seen it.
It's
Like,
stretched in weird.
Is it
places.
surgery? Yeah. I saw there's like one of those scroll particle trap things the other day that was actually going through people who had actually had a lot of plastic surgery. And how fucked up you get later on. As opposed to people who had none. And they look a little rough in like their 40s and their 50s, but then they look pretty good in their 60s or their 70s. And so if you start getting on that in your 40s and your 50s, then you look really, really weird when you get a little bit older, man. So
yeah,
Yeah.
you remember? I remember who took the business end of that was Meg Ryan.
oh yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. Man, I haven't seen her in ages.
Because she doesn't look like Meg Ryan.
Yeah, I know.
Her,
Yeah,
her whole thing was like this kind of cutesy thing,
yeah.
but she didn't look like that.
No. The podcast keeps coming back to Dennis Quaid somehow.
Oh. Yeah, it's been a while since I heard who you want to start a fight with, or
Oh, yeah. Oh, we kind of stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Well, because obviously the list of ass whoopings was
is all Edmonton right now.
No. It's,
Well,
it's
Roddy
not.
Piper hasn't taken you up on your offer. So
Well, they have, but I mean, it's
Oh,
just
okay.
it's like the
They're
end
all
of
going
that.
to come at once.
No, it's like that documentary, The Stairs. I just keep piling up, like right up front.
We're gonna have another one.
So many people have seen that. It's like,
I think it was at that period of time when there was some shit on Netflix, and so that was like,
Was it?
well, I mean, there was like a couple new things when COVID hit, but then that one was already like a year old at that point in
Yeah.
time, and so like, oh well, it's only a year old.
Yeah.
Maybe go check it out, and it's terrible, man. So
it's funny is I heard about that story before the documentary came out.
mm,
Yeah, and then this came out. I was
I
like,
had
this
not.
is far more boring than like take the interesting premise and then stretch it out over like fucking.
oh well, that's the Netflix formula, man. So I just finished out my first season of Stranger Things. So
I'm
yeah.
only 2 shows in, so
Yeah, it's not. It's fine.
it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
first show was not that exciting.
No,
It took
it's
a while to
much
get into
slower. This one is much slower. So, and then it is kind of like, oh, there's another new big bad who's not as big bad as the first big bad, but bigger bad than the second big bad. So it's kind of like, okay, so we're gonna do 14 episodes in a season. So you're gonna do 7 up here. You're gonna wait until episode 7 to actually tell me what's going on.
Right.
So, which is exactly what happened. So,
Right. So like when you're watching that shark movie, The Meg, they kill the Meg in like the first like 20 minutes.
yeah.
But you know that there's a bigger Meg.
Well, yeah, because there's only. I paid for more than 20 minutes of movie.
Right.
It's pretty obvious.
So if
guys,
you have
yeah.
14 episodes and there's a secondary kind of like big bad,
Right.
he'll open the door for the really big one.
Oh, see, yeah, you're probably calling it. Yeah.
'Cause this is the end, isn't it?
I assume so. The kids, like. I mean. So, like. The skinny kid with the big nose is the only one who looks like he's in high school. So,
Right.
yeah. Like Millie Bobby Brown, they try and do these things where you're trying to confuse her with, like, her younger self because there is this, like flashbacky time warp kind of bullshit going on. And it's like, no, that's not her. She's got boobs. Okay? You know? So,
Comes with the territory.
yeah, it
She's
comes with the territory. And then on top of that, I mean, like, she just, for someone who looked like they were like 6 in the first movie, she looks like she's like 30 now. Yeah. And it's like noticeable. So, now some of the other characters are fine. So the goofy kid, the kid with the hair and the braces and the lisp. and
Oh,
the shit,
yeah.
he actually looks like he would, you know,
Yeah.
maybe still be in high school. But then, like, the black kid, it's like, no, you know, no, man, you're shaving awful close every day, aren't you, brother? You know? So, yeah.
Is there like what, freshmen or like
I think they're supposed to be like
Sophomores?
freshmen, yeah. So they are supposed to be freshmen.
You say too, it's like, you know, you're playing a high school. It's like, yeah, it's like, you know, I can dunk from the free throw line, right?
Yeah, you know, he plays basketball
He
now.
does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. So yeah, it's. I don't know. I chewed through it in about a day and a half, and I'm like, let's see how long it takes for the next 7 episodes to come out.
I don't think it's that long.
Good because I'm getting like really itchy
Ready
on
to
my trigger
click it.
finger to pull off to shoot my Netflix.
Man, that's kind of that's such a rough spot to be in. Not for you, but it's like
It's fine with me.
No, it's an indictment against, you know, Netflix. It's an indictment against Stranger Things, where it's like, you don't realize like how on the bum spot you are.
Yeah,
Where if you don't stick this landing, I won't even finish this series before I send you to the can.
no.
If it was like Game of Thrones, it was that bad, would you have turned it off? In
The
middle?
end?
The final season.
Oh God! Don't do that to me, William.
Would you have like just been, all right, I'm just done. I don't really care what happens at the end.
I might actually swear off TV.
I can create my own entertainment.
Right.
I don't need any of you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yep, I'm board game Pat again.
Yep. Yeah.
I gotta find a new thing.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, let me find that hat with all the fish hooks in it, or
Right.
or,
Yeah. We set up my wood shop.
I'm a gunfighter.
Yeah, I'm a gunfighter. So I'm gonna learn how to do tongue and groove.
I do want to do that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, my dad used to do it. So
How did he feel about chin lap?
I don't know. I didn't really talk to him about it that much, but he did like, towards the end there. He started finally graduating to like furniture making. So because for years all he did was scroll saw stuff, do these patterns that he'd get off
Which
the
was
internet.
cool, yeah.
Oh, it's very cool. So yeah.
On a side note, my daughter caught her first fish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where at?
Up at the Lone Duck Campground. Just
Oh,
a little
okay.
pond they have there.
Lone Duck, man. I remember that place. So you still have that above ground creepy ass pool.
Creepy?
Yeah. Oh.
Why is it creepy?
Well, I don't know, man. It's been like
Well, so the
25
pool was there.
years, so
To
when the
answer your
pool was
question,
there,
it's-
yeah, it was pretty creepy.
Which is creepy. Like, it's just a pool. Like,
Oh, so they must clean it now.
oh, yeah. It's,
Oh, okay.
it's super clean. They heat it and everything.
Oh no,
We love
it was like one of the few pools that I remember. I mean, okay, god dang, this is more than 25. This is 30 plus years. This is a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like when we first camped. We camped up there like once or twice, and the pool was like slimy, and it was full of those water bugs, those little ones that like you know
With the legs.
with the legs, yeah, and then they helicopter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there were like dozens of them in there, man. So yeah,
Gotcha. Yeah, I wouldn't go in that.
it was cool.
The pool is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's heat. William used it 6 times in 2 days.
Well, you said it's under new management, and they took their duck with them.
Yes, that was.
They took the duck.
Yeah, the owners of Lone Duck, the duck was their pet, and so when they sold it, the duck went with them. So we show up, and I was like, "So how's the duck doing?" The duck isn't with us anymore.
Oh.
It's with the previous owner. Which is good because the year before, the duck actually died.
Oh,
And
They got a new duck.
duck.
Yeah,
So
yeah, because they get those big ponds. Was it
It's-
those
it's
the ones with the fountains in the middle of them?
no, there's
No,
no fountain in
okay.
the middle of the pond, but.
There's something up in that area that's like that, where it's got a big pump fountain in the middle of the pond. So, it's weird. So,
why do I? Oh my god, that sounds familiar. I feel like I've seen that.
Well, they have those in the city and stuff where they have a pond with a fountain in the middle.
yeah, it's kind of like that, but yeah.
Yes,
Plenty,
you're sitting there like, yes, Jeff, you're that stupid. Where it's like you're thinking of Rapid City or something like that. Where no, it's obviously like a campground that has what he's talking about instead of yes, I was in Bismarck and I saw a pump.
Well, they have it in Colorado Springs too. They have it parks everywhere.
Why do you think I'm so dumb? Why?
Do we have like parks with ponds?
Yeah,
The only one that I can think of is like Prospect Lake.
there's one. I don't.
That one, like, you don't go there, man, because the beach is like nothing but needles.
I went on a second
Yeah.
date and it was near a park and we went over there and it had a pond and it had a fountain in the middle of it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm assuming it's just everywhere.
Oh. I was thinking around here, I don't think there's a park around here that's got a fucking pond in it.
It's.
I know the golf course did, but it's no longer a golf course. They're going to turn it into a subdivision.
Oh really?
Yeah. That's how pissed you'd be if you bought a golf front property and then
Just
yeah.
now you get houses.
But the land is valuable enough to sell to make subdivisions, so
Yeah.
you can't complain. Like,
No, you can't complain, but I mean, if that's why you bought the house, so I guess you know,
You can.
you'd have
complain.
some.
You just
yeah,
sell your house for a ton and go find a house.
that's probably what I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
don't take my business elsewhere.
Yep.
but with my feet.
See, I can complain that I used to be able to see the mountains from my backyard. Or that a gunshot just happened.
Yeah.
Mind your business, guys.
Mind your business.
But I'm not going to pack up and leave just because my mountain view just got, was obliterated by a house.
It really depends. Like, if your neighbor, like, knew you liked it and then just went a little bit wider and taller because they...
Oh, it's one of those extra story ones. I have no hope of ever seeing a mountain again from my house.
Well, if you walk, like, if you go out front and then just, like, walk left or right, will you still see it?
Maybe if you stand just right, you can see between the two houses. But yeah, that's about it.
I'm sorry, buddy.
I don't mind.
Yeah,
Such was life.
I don't think all the years I've lived here, I don't think I've ever had a mountain view in any of my homes.
I just have to come on.
No, you still have yours.
Yeah, you still got yours. Yeah, like even the house that we lived in up here. So there was one window where you could see the mountain from, and it was the little one in the master bedroom that's down facing that way.
yeah.
Yeah, that was the only one. Yeah, all the other houses you couldn't see shit, including my current one.
And you're so sad because of it.
Oh no, I guess it's just never bothered me, but like, yeah.
This is a weird thing is they sell these houses based off of like the view.
They
do,
yeah.
As an accomplished decorated coffee drinker, like the whole thing is they sell it based off of, oh, when you get up in the morning, don't you want to take your coffee over to the window and look?
No.
Like, well, it's like, yes, once.
Right, yeah.
And then the next day I did it again. It was still there.
Right.
And I feel like, that's something that adds, $170,000 to the value of the house that you use twice. And then...
Yeah. Well, I don't know exactly how much it adds, but I know that, like, see, in my neighborhood, since we're so high up there on the hill, like, behind us, all the houses behind that one are oriented so that they get maximum viewage. Though they built the street that way. And then I've got a buddy who lives up in that neighborhood. He lives on the other side of the street. He says you can't even tell them houses are there because the houses that they packed them in there are so tight. It's basically like a fortress. Yeah.
Right. What do you have a view of? My neighbor's house.
My neighbor's house, yeah.
Wow.
So it's like literally enough to get like a little bit of fence and a gate in between each house. You know? Yeah.
You can't even turn. I was like, so what do you see? It's like crabgrass.
Crabgrass, yeah. Yeah.
And a swing set that is not safe to go on.
No. Yeah. Yeah, I've got crabgrass starting already. I don't care.
Are you back to not caring about your yard again?
Yeah, I didn't get it done in time.
I was like, you had motivation.
I had motivation. I called the guys and I was like, hey, I'd like to get this done. And they were like, well, we're booked. And I was like, when? Okay, no problem. And they say, well, we're booked at least until May, late May. And then you don't want to do it then. So, and it was like, now we got a bunch of other commercial customers who will be stupid and put in sod at that point in time. So, let's get you on the books for like October. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, actually, you want to do it in the fall.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, I did not know that. Yeah.
Until I started looking it up, I was like, oh, the fall. Huh. Well, that would have been nice.
When did we do yours?
Not in the fall.
It was hot out.
It was like late May.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he specifically told me, he's like, well, we're booked and you don't want to do it that anything.
Yeah,
yeah.
I knew we were late doing it, but I was just like, we gotta get it done. We have no grass, and I know the HOA is gonna be like, what? You can't have dirt in your front yard.
That's the difference between it's like, okay, well then you plant the grass.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
That doesn't work.
100% does not fly.
Yeah.
They go, that's warning one. You have a few weeks to get something in.
Oh, see, if my HOA came at me, I'd be like, okay, what are you going to do?
That's it. Yeah. Exactly.
They fine. I don't know.
They put a lien against your fucking house until you actually fix it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then you're like, okay, I fixed it. Take off the motherfucking lien. So,
That's it. Because the other, alternative is like, I'll be on my front porch. I'm right here. Come get me.
Just solution to all things. Come fight me.
If it's about the grass, if you say like, well, yeah, that's odd coming in here, right? Yeah, well, that's not how the rules work. Like, yeah, I'll be on my front porch.
I don't know if maybe if I did say, hey, I was getting sod in October.
Yeah.
And that's the ideal time that they said to plant it. They might.
That's exactly what I'm going to tell mine if they decide to start. They're like, I've got new California neighbors in my neighborhood. They are going to catch all the shit that I would have caught.
Oh, they're just terrible.
Like there are numerous, and they have like filled the entire cul-de-sac with their vehicles. Yeah, I know. It's exactly like that, except for like even on our street, okay, you're only allowed to park on one side of the street because there's no sidewalks. Okay, and so, and then on top of it, they have like a big key cornerstone lot. Okay, and I don't think that they've even thought about turning on their sprinkler. And they have 100% grass. So, oh man, it's gonna be dead in 2 weeks. So, and so I guarantee you that
all the hell.
they will bird dog all the heat off me. So, because at least I have Colorado plates. Speaking of that, you wanted to talk about gatekeeping.
Yeah, because it's just been on my mind because I sent a message to you that I don't know if you said it was like 4 beer influenced, where I was.
It was
like,
4 beer and at least a shot.
Yeah,
maybe 2.
You know, because I've been watching. Well,
I was watching the apps. So
watching the apps.
Yeah, I was watching the apps
with 4 beers and a shot.
Oh, I only watch sports at the bar.
Oh, gotcha.
It was just at home, like.
I don't get TV
I did that
anymore.
before. Oh yeah, that's right.
You know, so I've been watching hockey for a while now, and Pat said something, because he was watching the game. He was kind of like texting me back and forth, and he was like, "So I didn't know how cool this is, or whatever." It's like I need to be getting on board with this, and I didn't mean for it to come across that way. I was just kind of like, "Don't know what to tell you, man. You missed out on a lot of good stuff." And
I was like, "Well, fuck you. I'll go watch baseball."
Yeah, I got the apology, not apology, and like. I guess the thing is, I was like, dude, I just meant to tell you that like you missed a lot of great games. That's all, right? Kind of like a sort of like a FOMO thing. Don't
right, yeah.
Watch it from here on out, right? But I don't know. I guess my tone plus his beers were like I was gatekeeping. Is there
that is
a place for it.
That
like,
does sound kind of hockey elitist.
That's what I'm talking.
Especially with hockey.
Is hockey like that more so than other sports?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They do not want to modernize it because it's kind of their thing, or if you're coming in and wanting to change it to be more for TV, they're like, no, that's not how hockey's supposed to be played. So.
No, you can't widen the rink. You can't
make it more exciting.
Rules,
yeah.
No.
We got to have fighting. They kind of do it on their own, so I don't really.
Well, to their credit, to hockey's credit, I will say this in terms of, I would argue that baseball is actually more resistant to change.
Baseball's more resistant to change, but I don't think baseball. If someone, I've never seen a situation where someone like expressed like, well, what's this you're watching? So, we're in baseball. Everybody's like, "Oh, this is called baseball. It's awesome. Let me tell you all about it."
Let me take the next 6 days to tell
Whereas,
you
like
about
hockey,
the
it's
start
like
to the end.
This is hockey. Hockey. Have you heard of it?
Very condescending. Yeah.
So you're right, because when it comes to baseball, if you see somebody that's showing interest, that's actually like showing up to the Jehovah's Witness building.
It is.
I'd like to
it's
join.
the blood in the water.
All right. You're a hockey elitist, so
well, that's a pretty stark accusation.
What are the Avalanche going to play in next week?
What, the Stanley Cup Finals?
It's actually called the Stanley Cup Final. Only morons, I guess, non-hockey elitists call it the Finals. Even though they play multiple games, it makes no sense. If you talk to an actual hockey elitist.
How did you learn that?
It was on one of the sports talk radio.
Oh, okay.
And he got called out. He was with a whole bunch of Canadians and stuff like that. And because he was up in Edmonton, and one of the other guys said, "Oh, they're going to be in the finals," and they're like, well, and I guess he's like, they do it very condescendingly in a very nice way.
In a very Canadian way.
Like, oh,
I've
well,
got a couple
so
Canadians that are pretty condescending.
If you want to actually call it right, I mean, if you want to be somebody that actually knows what they're talking about, it's the final. But, I mean, feel free to call it the finals if you like.
Double backhanded compliment, or insult,
I am, you know what? Fine, and if you want to go that route, but that means that I have to walk around and correct everybody when they say, "Do you want to get some drive-through?" That's a place. It is not an item.
You want to get food in the drive-thru.
That is correct. When somebody says, "Let's go get some Wendy's," no, you don't. You don't get Wendy's, you get food from Wendy's. So if you really want me to do this, or I can sit there and say, like, are you going to watch the World Series this year?
The World Series.
Well, I don't know if baseball does it, but that's just what the
No.
NBA Finals
Yes.
is what it's called. The NBA
Right,
Finals.
Right.
But
And everything else that has finals, that calls it the finals.
Yeah.
true.
Shit, even tests are finals and midterms.
Yeah. Because you have more than one usually. Yeah.
Unless what you're
I'm
doing
really irritated.
there is, no, you can
No,
also say
no.
that you're taking your midterm exams.
Yeah, you're not really taking your midterms. So,
Right.
right. I mean, but is like hockey that bad?
I guess the elitists are.
Oh, okay.
Dude, what?
I mean, so I've met some like football elitists, you know, but like most people just like watching a good game.
Yeah.
But then every now and then you get the walking stats books who, you know, is like,
True.
oh, you don't know who that is. You know, you're like, oh, you know, run, this dude, and like, that's not that guy. He's number blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, you're not even wearing this team's jersey, man. So, you got a notebook somewhere? No. So, but I haven't seen that too much.
I don't think it's
Golf is pretty bad. So,
I'd imagine.
yeah, golf is pretty bad.
with the rules and how you. Or
I've
just
seen the
knowledge
most
of it.
ridiculous arguments over golf rules. So, you know.
Well, I mean, whenever they break a rule on the game, like on TV, it's insane. Like they have a fan call in from TV to say that this guy did this on this hole, and then they have to go back to review it, and then they go back and like change his stroke because he
wow.
played it differently, and then finally they had to come up with a thing where or where people can't call into the station to report something. If it wasn't reported within time, then you just have
Oh
to
my
let
God.
it go. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, you guys let this happen.
yeah.
Yeah, this is all on you.
Oh my God, the NFL would be so much fun if you actually had to poll everybody real quick.
No, it would
Come
I'm
back.
Joking, yeah.
Because it's a 4-day event, so they go back and they go like, "Oh, you lost a stroke yesterday
It
because
would be
you
so
touched this
easy to do,
wrong."
though. You just have an app, you
it
know.
would be so partisan. I can't accept that because
Yeah, you're getting all Bronco fans voting this way. All
Are you insane?
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
show the map of Patriots fans, and it is one dinky little state, and every other state says this is our least favorite team in the league, right?
Look who's not getting out of the first round anymore.
What the fuck? So you go out there and you open up the goddamn like American Idol, text in, and it says, "Was this holding?"
Well, they have the one that they're trying to create the league where fans get to vote the play. Like they get
Oh, that's
just
a
enough
terrible
time.
idea.
Vic was supposed to come out of retirement to be the quarterback, and finally he's just like, no, never mind. But they have it where it's like Madden, where you're going to get to pick your play, and the highest vote picks the play, and they get to run it.
This is a terrible idea.
You can do that once if that means like you raise $60 million for St. Jude's.
Wouldn't you instantaneously know what the other team?
Because it's like Tecmo Bowl, and you have 4 options, and the defense has 4 options.
But you don't know which one they're picking.
But it's on TV.
But you don't know which
Well, I
one they
guess
picked.
the players don't. Yeah, I guess
Right.
that's true. You're
Oh,
right. You're right.
No,
Okay.
you're absolutely wrong. Like in terms of like, would this solve anything? No, if it's just like there was this. God, maybe you remember this. Like there was a baseball player that when he finally made it to the majors in his first at bat, he got plunked and suffered like some kind of like brain condition. It wasn't just a concussion. Now he wasn't like permanently gone. He went down to play in the minor leagues, but I think it was the Rays that signed him for a 1-day contract, right? Where they said, go ahead and take your actual like second at bat,
Yeah.
right? And it was on like the last game of the season.
Oh yeah.
And there were some baseball guys that said like, you have disgraced the game.
What?
Yeah, because
Why?
because in theory,
Yeah.
even though we all know that sometimes clubs do tank games or don't care, it's not like there were. This
Oh, I
is
see
what
the
takes
point,
us
yeah.
into a 1-game playoff, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They were well out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So, but they're like, no, you play every game.
Yeah, like it's your
maximum
last.
speed.
Yeah, yeah.
Hell, they,
Or
dude,
you-
they call up like the bench becomes what 40 or 50 people.
It does.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So
After-
I mean, you've got so many scrubs on there. That's just dumb.
Look, man, this is where the baseball elitism does come in, where it's like you have disgraced the game.
I have seen that.
I don't think
I have seen that. It's not like, I wouldn't say that's terribly common, but now that you mention it, that whole, well, you know, you got to play every pitch like it's your last kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what you
thing.
tell like kids growing
Exactly.
up.
Yeah.
It's a real world.
You got to
Grow
eat the
up.
oats and not throw them out. So you can't just eat the crunch berries.
Oh my god.
No, I think baseball has the highest percentage of disgraced the game. This disgraced the game. This dishonored. Whereas like in football, you can't say that because like the first time that a running back put his wife or girlfriend in the hospital, you'd be like, no, you disgraced the game, bro.
Right. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he learned his lesson. He'll play,
Right. Yeah.
he'll play for the Ravens next year.
Yeah.
and it'll
His
be
daddy
fine.
used to beat him. It's okay.
Oh my, yeah. So, like,
Go cut your own switch.
welcome to the Raiders.
Welcome to the Raiders. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas, the only thing that gets you, who was it, Ray Caruth? That,
Oh, murder.
Oh, jeez.
yeah, that was like the only one where it's like, no, man, you gotta go.
Well, yeah, they didn't even get rid of what's his name, Ray Lewis. So
It was never.
I don't know the whole
proven.
story behind that, but from what I understand, it's shady as fuck.
So, there's, even if you're hanging out with the crowd of like, yeah, he was there when that dude got stabbed, or you know, it's in dispute.
Right.
When you're like, we're gonna fire this guy for a controversial tweet he made 18 years ago,
Oh, right. Yeah.
right? Or, you know, Curt Schilling liked a meme 11 years ago. It's like, you gotta go. It's like, but he killed somebody.
Yeah, but that guy killed somebody. I don't know. Curt Schilling had a particular talent for trying to poke any bear that he came across. So
You know what? I understand.
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that that's a fundamental component of his personality.
yeah, I think that's definitely.
I think that's his competitive edge.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's kind of baked into him. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's probably very antagonistic to his children. I think. Like,
I bet you that his house is a 9 o'clock bedtime kind of house.
I was thinking just more like lying about stuff for no good reason. Like, you know, he's just driving by, just wants to make up something for the kids. It's like, see that high school I went there. It's like,
So he lies to his kid.
just all the time.
Yeah, I was in the
just
Marine Corps. Yeah.
Yes.
Your
Yeah.
grandfather was a fighter pilot.
Yep, I'm with you.
You know, see that bridge over there? I jumped off it once.
That's what I'm talking. Yeah,
Yeah, I get
exactly.
you, I get
Like if
you.
he's got
Yeah.
something like messed up, like his finger looks a little bit weird.
Right.
It's like, you know what happened to this? It's like what? A leprechaun bit it.
Right. So, had to have it sewn back on.
You know, and then eventually, you know, when kids are like 18, 19, there's like, oh, Dad's full of shit. And then it just turns out it's like, Dad actually was a baseball player.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. So why do you have to lie about all that stuff? Yeah.
why not?
Well, I don't
Why
know.
not?
I guess if you're a baseball player, that's good enough, man.
What else
Yeah.
am I doing? I'm so busy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know, man. There's other gatekeeping things out there though that I've noticed. I don't know. Like hockey doesn't seem that bad, but I have met a few people who are definitely gatekeepers on hockey.
Well, were we trying to gatekeep people out of like Star Wars?
I don't know about that, but I have seen that in that community where it's like, you know, there's always the guy who's, well, I actually saw the last movie in the fucking theater. Or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
you know, or something like that. Like,
Like people that listen to Tool.
People who
What?
listen to Tool, yeah, my wife is one of them. So
It's like, well, I saw them before they were popular.
yeah, I've heard that from her mouth.
Those
Yeah,
things.
I've heard, well, we saw them in a bar, kind of thing. Yeah, so I guess I've heard that with music too. Um, there's a lot of that in video games, man.
Yeah, well,
There's
especially
way too much of that in video games.
well, because like
yeah.
gatekeeping #1 is like, you're a girl.
Yeah, you're a girl,
Yeah.
so yeah. So I can tell you why your Twitch stream is so popular. So
Which, all right, so I learned something about that. I went down a Twitch rabbit hole. Well, it wasn't just a Twitch rabbit hole. It was. Do you remember a TV channel that used to be? Oh, are you?
yeah.
No, I'm good right now. Do you remember when cable used to have a channel called G4 TV?
Yep.
Okay. Well, you're aware that they brought it back in a different capacity, right?
No.
They brought it back as its own YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and so evidently one of the psychopath girls that they decided to bring on as host decided what she would do is she would stop the whatever dumbass show she was on at the time and give a big time lecture about sexist culture and
In gaming?
in from the gaming community, and she's just like, it's like, look, women in this business are not here to be pretty for you, etc., right? And all the rest of these, fucking middle-aged white dorks who are like, kids still like me, they're like clapping, it's like, good stuff. Now the funny thing is,
Wait, what? This was an audience?
well, this was on their show, and the co-commentators that were on the
Oh,
show
okay, I got you.
were like, oh yeah, so brave, right? And she goes on this tirade, and this channel is, she's saying that, but her channel is actually like working with Amaranth from Twitch.
Oh, she that redhead chick.
That's correct. So it's
Yeah, I
like,
had to scrub her from my news feed, man.
I know.
So, yeah.
but it was one of those things where, like, all right, so that rabbit hole opened up because I was looking at that, and I was like, so where does like the Twitch monetization for these people go? I was
I
like,
didn't think that girl was actually too shy about that, though.
not at all.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, that's her whole thing. Is like, I'm shameless. I don't care.
Right, okay, yeah.
Right, but
Send me money.
correct.
Yeah.
But on your network that is sexualizing women, okay, you don't go out there and say like, we're not here to be your sexualized objects. And
Okay.
people are like, yeah, but in 30 minutes you will be, right? So,
Oh, right, yeah.
So there's
Did she stream with that other girl?
well, it was just like a later program.
Oh,
right?
okay.
But yeah, so that was the thing about this. What I found out here is that the Twitch streamery thingy, right? I was like, so a lot of them don't make a whole ton of money off of like the Twitch revenue thing. I was like,
Oh, no.
I found out what it is.
What is it?
Well, Twitch is basically an advertisement for their OnlyFans pages.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I was like, well, where does this money come from? I was like, oh, all of you have these.
Oh, everybody has
That's
this.
what this
Yeah.
is.
Oh, no, you make mint over there. So, doing that stuff, man.
And they do.
And they do, yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, no, so, well, and that's because Twitch, like, even with game streams,
Yeah.
all right, legit, like, straight up, whatever your genre might be, I saw this great breakdown video
Tell me about it, yeah.
maybe like 6 months ago or something, where it was like, all right, so, if you want to make money as a content creator, there's like 5 different ways to do it. And so
Yeah.
let's talk about like the 3 YouTube or video streaming kind of platforms, which was Facebook. The other one is YouTube, and then Twitch, of course. There was another one that was set up for a little while there, and it died.
Oh, yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about.
I do. It's the one that they gave $100 million to that one streamer.
Motorcycles. Arr.
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I know which one. Yeah, I can't remember which one it
It
is.
was the
now.
one that Microsoft set up.
Yeah.
And it tanked.
It tanked hard.
because all it was here's this thing, but
Yeah.
different.
So anyway, the breakdown, that one was kind of a middle of the pack kind of thing,
Yeah.
but your two ends of the spectrum are YouTube and Twitch.
Twitch, yeah.
Twitch is like, you get a hell of a lot more views on Twitch
Right.
than you do on YouTube. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, because it's all live. All right. And
Oh,
so,
okay.
you know, depending on what time you stream and stuff like that, you could be one of like 1,000 people streaming that content, or you could be one of 10. All right. So, or sometimes you got that genre or that game or something like that to all to yourself.
And once you've got that, you actually have a. You can go live anytime, but if 10 o'clock's your spot, you come on at 10.
Yep. Yep.
Because you cornered that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, but the thing about Twitch is, it pays a hell of a lot less than YouTube, and I mean a hell of a lot less.
So they're always shaking the tip.
They're always shaking the tip jar and stuff like that, and that's because you make your money off tips and bits and whatever, tickets and widgets, whatever, cheers and yeah, and stuff like that. And even that, you don't even make that much money because you need a pretty heavy duty stream in order to actually be able to generate enough revenue. All right. And so that's why if you look at Twitch, even if you look at like, okay, let's go to the hot tub meme thing. All right, look at that page. You're gonna see like 2 videos that got like 10,000 people watching them. Everybody else has got like 3 people. Yeah, 100, if that. Okay, kind of thing. And so it's very much so all or nothing kind of thing.
Do you know what the actual requirements are to make partner?
Oh, it was insane.
No,
So,
it's actually surprisingly low.
oh no.
Where it's to make partner, you just have to have 100 viewers over. I can't remember. It's like 30 days.
I thought it was you had to have at least that at one time.
Well,
I thought that was the whole idea behind raids, was to actually get people made, so to speak.
well, no, that's the thing. That's why it doesn't. You have to. It's averaged over like
Okay.
a 30-day, because that way you can't just like pass it from friend to friend,
Yeah, okay.
right? So it's like you have to average like 100 viewers per stream over like 30 days, and then you make partner.
Okay.
Right? But then you look around, it's like, how's that bitch have like 16,000 viewers?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then yeah.
So, okay, if you go on Twitch and you're saying, like, there's 2 that have all this and then everybody else doesn't. But, like, when you go to Twitch, wouldn't it be, like, that's what everybody sees? So why wouldn't the person, like, want to click the one that has, like, 3 viewers? Because don't they actually, like, talk to the people then? Or
In theory, but you know, part of it is just like, if you're that big, you get pushed up to the top of the list. Okay, and so the more streamers that you have at a certain point in time, the higher visibility that you're gonna have. And so, yeah, sometimes, like, the way that it's organized, sometimes by category, and you go into an individual category, and then you get a whole page full of people who are doing it. But sometimes, and most of the time, if you just go to the front one, there's only, like, 5 videos in a row in one category, and then 5 in a different category, and,
and
5
they're
in a
all
different...
from the same.
And, yeah, and so, yeah.
Okay. It's not like a pick of 9.
Right.
There's 2 there, and then all these others that are there.
Yeah.
Well, there are a ton down there, but if you're talking about the showcased ones,
Yeah, so you're gonna have to scroll a ways to find those, you know. And so, like, Twitch is like literally the land of haves and have-nots. So it is the 1% versus the 99% on there. Whereas YouTube, you can make a lot more on YouTube, and you can get a much bigger following. It just takes a long time to do it. So because you've got to get enough visibility, you know, eventually to get people to actually, you know, and YouTube's live streaming. Like, the way that you navigate there, whatever's live at any given point in time fucking sucks, because of course, like, the first thing on every row is like, oh, this is what's on CNN right now. You know,
Right.
yeah, because they're all
Gotcha.
corporatized. Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of whack. And the other thing that's sort of rough about that too is, well, okay, I don't want to pick on YouTube, so I won't. I'll take it.
Okay.
Well, that was kind of you.
Yeah.
No, because I do respect it in its own right, where it's not. To YouTube's credit, there isn't a murderer's row of just like, oh, this is popular, ergo you want to see it in terms of these are our streamers and this is how they look, and this is like, I'm not trying to, you know, pick on girls that are trying to make money, but, you know, because of that, Twitch throws it out there on Front Street. Whereas if you want to find that kind of thing on YouTube, you'd have to do some digging.
Yeah, you would. So YouTube doesn't exactly throw that stuff out there. So, I mean, there's exceptions to that. Like shorts for a little bit there. We're definitely getting a little bit like TikTok. Yeah. It's like, how many dancing girls can we actually throw up in your face in 5 seconds? You know? It's like, actually quite a few.
Yeah, there's no shortage.
Yeah.
And you go in there, it's like, oh, okay, well, what are you doing? Oh, okay, well, you're going to stand. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right. And what's next? Oh, you're going to jump in the air. It's like, okay, got it. But when you land, you're going to be in a different outfit.
Right, yeah.
Right? And you're going to do this like 20 times.
Yeah.
And people are like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And these people have, 40 million views.
Yeah. See, the thing that's different about that, though, is YouTube, you can't monetize your shorts. So...
No, I'm talking about the TikTok people. Those are the...
Yeah, TikTok is absolutely foreign territory as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to venture into that part of Mordor.
No, man. Like, there's a special kind of person that lives in Mos Eisley, and
Right, yeah.
some of us are just trying to pass through, and some of us will go a long way to go to a different space.
Yes, you're going somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that one. Yeah, that's the one that I'm on guard for my daughter. So...
Yeah.
Yeah, because that one is supposed to be... That and Instagram are supposed to be particularly toxic. So, I don't know anything about Instagram.
I've just banned TikTok from the house.
Yeah.
And so even the kids that come over that watch TikTok and they stay the night, I'm like, no TikTok.
No
Like,
TikTok.
what? Why? And I'm like, because I said so. And I'm like, well, because they're spying on all your stuff and I'm not doing it here because I don't want my kids to do it. And so far, they've all fallen in line, but I know as they get older, they're going to be like, oh, fuck no.
No, actually, I'd like it if you just went into like an anti-CCP tirade, where you're just like, that's why it's not allowed in this house.
That's what I go, it's Chinese and they spy on you, and it's not going to happen in this house. So if you want to stay the night, that's how it is. And they're like, and then the one that likes to push the buttons, he's just like, he pushed play on it, and he's like, this is just a recording I have of a TikTok. I'm like, you son of a...
Yeah, it's like you're not as clever as you think you are. Yeah.
like, no, I heard the TikTok sound. Get it off. Like, ah!
You know, maybe you do the Quentin Tarantino thing now, where at his parties famously, right, when you come in, you have to put your phone in the basket because they don't want anybody having pictures taken of them.
But then they're going to want to talk to me all night.
Well, you just like go and play with your model trains.
Yeah, just lock yourself in your den and brood.
Actually, well, this is a perfect time to take up woodworking.
That is not how this household works.
They come and talk to you.
They all come and talk to me. They all come in, and I get...
Oh,
no, I got my basement, man.
I've seen...
That's where I live.
Yeah, you've told me how you do, where it's like, oh, the in-laws are here.
Yeah.
I won't be.
I won't
I'll
be
downstairs.
Don't I go? Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that.
You can.
I can't.
You
it's
just
not,
refuse.
It's not in my DNA.
I have your DNA.
We have very different.
No, I know. Some postman in Ohio share.
Very different expressions.
I get it. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take for them to actually start to pick TikTok apart a bit. So.
I really can't tell you.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with me staying away from the platform because I don't think it's for me. I think it's.
No.
I had to.
They tried to get it away from the Chinese.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. DJT.
Well, no, I know that. The Orange Menace tried.
But they didn't listen.
Well, yeah. There was a reason for it, though.
I think a lot of that was like, you cannot do this.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was kind of like, it's like, yeah, you're not emperor. Yeah. Yeah.
It was very much like, show me the rule book where you get to do this.
Yeah.
He gets out a book. And
But I mean, they've essentially gotten rid of Huawei. So
yes.
you can't get those phones in the United States. I mean, you can, but Kind of got to go after your way. Yeah, you just go at your own peril.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which doesn't bother me one bit. If Huawei is China for the Chinese, it's not gonna.
Yeah.
That's fine. There was something that I was curious about your take on, especially the two of you, right? Because I have no little children, right?
Okay.
Are you guys familiar with the current month that it is, and if you go on social media, they've been barfing rainbows on you nonstop since June began. Have you guys been?
Oh, is it Pride Month?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Have you guys?
I guess I've seen that like in a couple emails that I got from my school.
Have either of you guys been following the sheer amount of stuff where like kids are being dragged to drag shows and
In Texas, that they're trying to ban it, I saw.
What?
well, I mean, have you?
I hadn't heard of it until I heard that they were trying to ban it. I don't know. I mean, I didn't know that they were being dragged to it, but I just wanted to make a rule saying that you can't bring children to.
Well, it's June. What do you mean dragging them too?
I have
No. This is not necessarily just a June thing. This is
Oh.
so evidently.
You mean like this is happening through schools or?
Yes. So
Oh.
schools are. One of the things I've been documenting is how many schools have basically been inviting drag performers to come into the schools, as well as taking students to drag shows. And this is all within the current climate that began in Florida, right? So it's
Right.
like how much of this crap is going on, and turns out quite a bit.
Where? So I can only speak for the bit of like the school system that I can personally see, because personally I don't really care about education anymore. So, but I guarantee you my daughter has never been dragged to a drag show.
Well,
I mean,
our state is going to be one of the. Well,
Our state would be one of the last.
Well,
maybe certain.
Boulder.
Yeah, maybe certain spots.
Maybe, but
Even
you know,
then, that's still.
you wouldn't see it at the statewide level. So you'd see it at a district level or possibly the school level, more so than anything else. And I've seen no indication of anything like that. I mean, like, even for like Black Pride Month, okay, my daughter read one book on Rosa Parks. I think we've all read that. So it's not like you were just getting pounded with this stuff all fucking month, and so now that, it's Pride Month and it's June, so zero.
You just get that everybody changes their logos to.
Oh yeah, we got to
Sure,
get rid of the
yeah.
Ukrainian flag now because that got boring. So now we're back on Pride Month. So where is this happening? So is it in Florida?
It's happening in Florida. It's happening in Texas.
Okay.
It's happening in, of course, a lot of California.
Yeah, that one is
East Coast,
surprising.
that
But
kind
I
of
mean,
stuff.
like in places like that, parents probably fucking cool with it. So,
Well, see, this is the problem, right? Whether or not the parents are cool with it, what I can tell you is, from a psychological standpoint, I can tell you about what the effects are of exposing children to hypersexual imagery prior to a period where they're really mentally able to handle it and what that does.
okay, where would that be?
What the
Age-wise,
physical location?
age-wise.
Basically before puberty,
Okay, all right.
right? Because there's no sense of this where you're really mentally able to handle it. But what ends up happening is there is a hypersexualization that starts to begin at that point when you do that, right? So if this is happening, right? And again, I'm not saying this is happening to your children at this moment, but is this something that, based on the outcomes that this has, shouldn't exist?
Well, I would oppose it. So, but like I'm fundamentally happy with. See, like my daughter, she's had exactly zero sex education.
Right.
None.
Right.
Okay, and she's done with elementary school now. I'm sure it's coming. Okay, which is fine. I don't have a problem with it.
I would say that's appropriate at that point.
Yeah, I think we got it first in what, like 7th grade or 8th grade, maybe.
I got it in 6th.
Oh, that's right. You did middle school.
Well, no. No, I took it in 6th. I took it. Okay, let me say it this way. Our sex ed, quote unquote, at the elementary school, and you guys did this too in 6th grade. I guarantee it.
No, I didn't.
No, you would have, because it was a school-wide thing and had been. It wasn't a unit. It wasn't anything. Okay, it was.
I'm looking at my 6th grade teacher. I know he didn't talk about dicks.
No. It was the boys watch one video and the girls watch one video.
Oh, okay,
And
maybe.
was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
there was a video.
As a matter of
There
fact,
was a video.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
the name of the video was "Am I Normal?" Okay, and
The answer is no.
they swapped them out and they said girls go in this classroom, boys go in this one,
all right,
and they
all right.
each watched.
Yeah, but it wasn't like
that
a
was
class.
It. No,
Yeah.
it was just
Or a unit
or
in
unit.
science
It was
class.
just you watch the video.
Yeah.
That happened. Yeah.
So yeah, no, like I'm sure that there will be some exposure to certain things like that, but lifestyle choices and stuff like that, no, I would fundamentally be opposed to that. So in a school, now if the school decides to expose her to that, that's fine with me. I just need to know about it. All right. So, because I'll run it, I'll say like, hey, tell me what they say and come talk to me afterwards, kind of thing.
No, fair enough.
Yeah. So, but like fundamentally, like if it's Boulder, fucking Colorado, and everybody on the school board who got duly elected by the parents in that community are cool with it, then okay, fine, whatever. So, I don't think it's going to work out for them, but, I can only say that just from my standpoint. I would oppose that, but, like, so, like, there's so many examples of, and I mean, you've been in a school, so you know that you always have, like, there's that one flake teacher. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Who pushes that fucking envelope.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then, so, like, where the other 10 teachers who are teaching that same topic at that same grade level, like, what the fuck, man? And so just because Miss So-and-so decides to take her class over to, a fucking drag show, all right, I wouldn't necessarily see that as being a dictate from on high, where it's like, no, you will take your kids to fucking drag shows. I don't think very many teachers would be cool with that.
Don't you have to sign a permission slip?
You'd have to.
In which case you'd say no.
No.
Just
Yeah.
have my kid watch Scene 2 in the classroom until they get back. Like, I don't know.
Well, if they were actually going somewhere, absolutely.
Yeah, so I don't know how you can drag.
If you brought a drag show into the school,
But that wasn't what was.
well, first of all, there's
No.
there's zero chance that the parents wouldn't know about that. So
No, they're actually there were.
They were
that
bringing
many
them into the school.
examples.
they don't
Yes.
know about it.
Yes.
Well, okay. Are they not reading their emails, or do their schools just not do it the same way that mine does?
Yeah,
Because
'cause
mine,
we get notified.
fucking A, man, they
every
over
goddamn
communicate everything. So
Totally understand.
Yeah.
But that's part of the issue is there are places where this is happening without parental permission.
yeah, well, I don't know what kind of districts those are, but I wouldn't live there. So my district, I mean,
Yeah, I don't know how they all
Yeah.
work. I have no idea.
Now, obviously, I'm not making the call to go to war or anything like this. This is
Well, if it was going on without me knowing, and
Yeah, it'd be
somehow
real
this was
sad.
happening, then yeah.
what would you say? Because look, part of the there's two pieces of this that are concerning me, and yes, there's also a lot of this where they're doing this at like libraries and stuff. Whatever. Actually, never mind. That's actually a government facility, so never mind. But so I got a problem with that. But I guess the thing that I have on this is if that were happening in your school district, or if it was happening, it was something with your students, right? With your kids. What's your reaction? What do you do?
I'd reach fucking holy hell. Yeah.
If what?
So if they were like bringing drag queens or whatever, drag shows into my daughter's school and said, you have to sit down here and watch it, I would be calling the principal.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, she needs to be excused from that. So if you said no, then it's like, okay. So direct me to your nearest board member, please. I'll see you at the next meeting.
That's part of how this is coming to light. Is basically
Yeah.
like people are coming to the boards with like pictures and videos, things that their kids took.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of this involves like they're being encouraged, like the kids are encouraged. Like it says right there on the board, it's like bring money because you're supposed to tip the drag people.
Yeah, no, I'd be fundamentally opposed to that. So I'd be like, no, that doesn't really have much place in school. So I would rather you be teaching her math at the moment. So
Well, again, my argument with this is like this is fine if every one of you can do calculus and write in iambic pentameter, then fine, we have time for this. But as of right now,
well, that's my fucking point. That's why we shouldn't teach history in fucking schools. So get rid of it. All it does is open cans of worms like this one, man.
Don't
So,
teach history?
do not teach history in school. That's for college kids. So
Not even like the basics, like Washington and...
no, you don't need to know that.
Really?
No. So you get like civics in 9th grade, and then you can take like history as an elective. Like if you don't want to take French, you can go take history. That's cool. So, but no, I think social studies. Social studies curriculum is where like 90% of this bullshit comes from, and so you should get rid of it. Okay. So you don't see math teachers doing shit like this.
Huh. Yeah, there's really not much confusion in that.
Right, yeah.
They're trying, but I don't know how they're...
Yeah, but if you actually knock out social studies from the schools actually start looking like schools again real fast. And so I'm willing to toss history out, baby with the bathwater. It's totally fine. You can take that in college, man. So, because they all teach you fucking wrong anyway, man. So you go in college and you're gonna take a serious history course. You got to unlearn all the fucking shit you just thought you knew.
But you got names and stuff that are already in place.
You can learn those in
and
10 minutes, man. So it ain't gonna take you that long to actually brush up on that shit. So.
well, this is a tough one because I kind of agree with you, right?
I'm a fucking history major.
I don't know. That's why I'm
I
kind
have a
of...
degree in it. This.
Like, wow.
So,
It's fascinating. I totally...
you know how many people I've had arguments with at the bar, and it was just like, God damn, I mean, you're way into this, but you don't know fucking shit about what you're talking about because you just read these like 5 things in high school and thought they were really cool. Then you went and found 5 more things that were just like them and blah, 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 blah. And now you have this really baked in idea of like, so what happened, you know? And it's like, no, actually, that's wrong. Okay, because the shit that you learned that off of was based upon 1960s propaganda to keep the Soviets away. Got it. So there was no cherry tree, brother.
No, we know about this bullshit. That's at this point. No, I totally understand that. I mean, I suppose there's a version of history that you can teach objectively, like when it comes down to...
I don't think you should teach history objectively, ever. So history always has a slant. So you have to learn how to navigate those different things. So you're not ready to do that when you're in 7th grade. So fuck that. If your dad wants to tell you about the Revolutionary War, that's cool. So, but here in school, we do math.
I disagree. You also do English.
English is good too. Yeah. I'm not saying it's just math. So
You just did, but that
yeah. Well, okay, let me put it this way. We do more math.
Literally did, but yeah, well...
Yeah.
No, I disagree. I would actually argue that English is more important than math.
Yeah. I would agree with that. So I would say that of all the skill sets that I see students come out of high school with, math is always the most deficient. So
But look, the only reason I'm saying this is...
scientific theory is pretty bad too.
Well, see, that's part of it too. Okay, so there's... All right, so let's do this. Let me take this drag shit out of the equation. All right.
Oh, woo.
Right, no, that's fine. That's fine, because what we're talking about is overhauling what needs to be taught in school, and this is its own topic, right? Do we have the time to broach this?
We got 12 minutes.
Okay, all right, so we'll keep it tight.
No history.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, skim over it. I'm just saying, like...
Hey,
the
man,
only reason...
if I get to pull something off the table, so...
No, the only reason I argue for...
I get a veto, right?
For English and language arts is because more of math now can be done with machines, calculators, and stuff like that, then there's not a great calculator for English yet.
No, I agree with that. I think that you should switch around math curriculum quite a bit. So I don't think we should be teaching calculus. So unless you're really advanced, so like maybe there's an AP calculus class.
No, I'm just saying that's a 12th grade course.
It's absolutely a 12th grade course.
Yeah.
I don't think you need trig. So in there, I would do more statistics because it's more practical, and I would do things like accountancy. So in terms of like actually being able to do just really good, solid, basic math operations, rather than getting into this theory shit that like. If you get someone who's a math teacher and got a whole degree in math, of course they want to teach the cool stuff. So yeah, we all do. Yeah. So, but you don't need to be doing that. When half the kids coming out of it are so fucking terrified of any form of math whatsoever, they run screaming from any class that has anything to do with it in college. So
I did that.
yeah, I did that, and that was dumb. So I didn't realize I was good at math until someone made me do it. So,
Well,
because I didn't like doing it, and nobody called me out on that. So
to be fair, my counselor, when he says, like, when I was bombing out of trig,
right.
he very much says, like, maybe math isn't for you.
Yeah, no, I got counseled out before trig, so
Yeah.
I didn't make it past algebra 3-4. But it was me who was doing it. I was like, you know what? If I suck at this, they're not going to make me do it as much. And I was right.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
No, that's...
And it was only later. It was like, oh.
Yeah. No, okay, so... Math and English, we're in agreement.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's
And
fine.
I would actually do more focus on phonics and syntax. So, to tell you the truth, I find people have trouble with both of those things. So,
Yes,
yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
But what you touched on there with science is, I think that is the biggest problem that we have right now when it comes to education. And I'm going to explain why,
Okay.
right? Because at this moment, when somebody says, quote unquote, to trust the science, what does that mean?
I don't know anymore. So it's fucking weird. So it means trust the guy with the lab coat, I guess. I don't know. I don't even fucking know what
People
that
don't know
means
who the
anymore.
lab
Yeah,
coat is.
exactly.
People talk about science, okay? Like they talk about science like it's an Assyrian god, right? Like it's a single entity, and that there's not supposed to be disagreement in it.
Yeah.
Right? They don't understand that these things are supposed to be tested and tested again and tested again. And if the flaws are pointed out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I'm not going to go again into conspiracy territory, but what I will say is that there are young people getting heart attacks. There are athletes getting heart attacks, right? From something that was supposed to be scientifically safe. I'm not speaking out against vaccinations, but what I will say is when people trusted the science, okay, that also meant downplaying any possible risks that came along with it. And that's what I'm talking about. That has nothing to do with science.
No,
There
Science
wasn't
would've-
enough time for science to have played out.
No, there
Correct.
wasn't enough time to properly. Everybody was freaking out about it anyway, so I don't think it could have been possible to have that
No,
amount of
which was
time.
why it was dumb to.
So, yeah.
And so weaponizing science, I guess, is the part that pisses me off, because if you understood
No.
it, you couldn't.
I
use that as a
understand
weapon.
that. My problem with science curriculum is a little bit different than that.
Hit me.
I think that we treat science like a fucking amusement park ride. Okay? You get to do the biology, you get to do the chemistry, you get to do the geosciences, you get to do this. There's no like common theme amongst all those where they actually talk about like scientific theory and the scientific method. It's like
Method, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And so rather than like, focusing classes on like each one of those topics and things like that, where you kind of portion off and say like, oh, well, I hate fucking chemistry. All right, but I
Yeah.
love biology or something like that.
Sure.
All right, you're not getting the point, okay, behind it. The point is that you can do a lot of different things with this. All right, and as long as you have the tools in your toolkit to be able to pursue it, then it's up to you where you decide to go, But no, we treat it like fucking rides in the amusement park. So, so they should just have like science 1, science 2, science 3. You know? And so maybe in science too, it's like, oh, we're going to learn about carbon chains for this unit. And everybody's going to be like, ah, boo. But then the next one's going to be like, now we're going to learn about organic chemistry because it's really cool because it relates over here to biology. People are going to be like, yeah, I want to learn about animals. You know?
Well, okay. See, here's the. I can give you the breakdown about why they do that.
I know.
And I think you do too,
Yeah,
right?
textbooks.
No, that's not it. That's
Well,
not the
and
only part.
qualifications.
There's also
Yeah.
it's well. No, the other part of this here is. Well, I'm gonna put this to you, right?
Okay.
How much of chemistry is math?
A lot.
What?
So, if you go into science and you're just teaching science and you teach chemistry as part of that, anybody that struggles with math is going to bomb that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So that's why there's also sort of a subdivision of that because certain skills of it.
Yeah, but you could do that based upon seniority, how far you get through the system. Okay, so if you're not doing carbon chains where the math gets really intense, because you're not doing that much math when you learn about the periodic table and stuff like that. But when you start doing chains and shit like that, then you need that math. And so, yeah, you better have actually passed your math 2 class as well in order to get there. You know, like that's like my major beef with like the education system is that in a lot of respects we do things the way that we do them because we've always done them that way. And the other piece of it is that, you know, when we design curriculum, we always have the tendency to over-design it, to over-engineer it, okay? When really you want to keep your curriculum as fucking simple as possible, and that just opens up opportunities to plug shit in that you find cool, okay? But if you're like, if you've got 40 hours of contact time with your students over this course of this unit, and you can look at it and you can say, no, there's actually 70 hours here, man, that's bullshit, dude. It should be the other way around. You know, if there's 40 hours of contact time, you should have about 25 hours planned. You know.
Well, okay, yeah. So you were talking about 2 separate issues, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Yeah.
it's not like Patrick, you jerk. No, it's more so like, all right. So I would argue that the meat of what you're saying, and I completely agree with you completely, is if you've got 70 hours planned in a 40-hour time,
It's gonna suck.
well, number one,
And you're gonna hate it.
well, it's not just hated, it's also and it's not just too much. It's like you have to pick the 30 best hours.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right?
Well, and you don't leave your students any room in a situation like that to fail. So, I mean, if you fall off the bandwagon at that point in time, congratulations, you're never getting into biology too. Fuck off, you know?
Right.
So like, well, I don't like science anyway.
Well, then
I'm gonna go study English.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. As a contrarian English major, yes. In a house full of engineers,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Because having not hit the math wall, I'm like, well, I guess I can't succeed at this. I
Yeah.
guess I need to specialize in the one thing that the family needs.
English, yeah.
Right. But yeah, so I totally understand you on that. My whole issue on this one here is like when you're talking about what you just described, you're also talking about the difficulty of essentially applying a college model and an adaptive form of that in high school.
Yeah.
And I don't know if from so the argument where you sit there and say like, yeah, but look at all the kids that succeed. It's like, you know what? I think they'd succeed anyway.
Yeah,
I
they'd
think
be
if
fine.
we redesigned it, it would be the
It'd
same
probably
thing.
be even more
Right.
beneficial for them, and they'd probably have healthier mental faculties, to tell you the truth. Because like the most ambitious kids that I see are the ones that are like probably thinking about chewing on a pistol on a regular basis. Okay, so
Bro, I do SAT prep.
yeah, I know, man. You know what I'm talking about.
I've got people that are trying to improve by leaps and bounds in a very short period of
Yeah,
time.
yeah. So, you know, and then like, so yeah, we try and use like a college-based model. So within like the 3-4 different colleges that I've taught at, they are not congruent models. None of them are the same. Okay. Other than like schedule and things like that, but you know, expectations in terms of like your intellectual capabilities, your work ethic, So the skill sets that you bring to it, they're all over the fucking map. And so trying to push that jigsaw fucking puzzle down into the high school system is why there are so many fucking problems with, you know, kids, especially those who get around their junior year in high school and just start to fucking burn out. And then I get them 2 years later and they ask me, like, specifically, is like, how many lines do I need to write in order to get a B? Like, exactly.
Yeah. Do you know what one of the most troubling problems I have right now?
Yeah.
Okay, is again, my seasons for students are very telling.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now I hit a part where my regulars, my in school, I check on you and like, I don't know how to do this test. I'm like, well, sit down with Mr. Jeffrey and I'm gonna help you. Like, yeah, that's a noun, right? And we're gonna do this. It's
Oh,
like,
Lord.
it's like fucking radio. And it's but no, that's fine. Look, I have to do this with adults.
Yeah, I
okay?
know. I do too. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say it that way. But my regular attaché of rich white kids just went on vacation across the globe because school ended. And my new crop of people that need to improve over the summer just ushered in, right? And one of the more concerning things is, like, I'll get, you know, my son doesn't know how to write, right? First question I ask is, what is a paragraph? You would be amazed
Yeah.
at the answers I get.
Yeah.
What is a paragraph and what does it do?
Yeah. I totally feel you on that one because over the last, I'd say 5 years, it's gotten progressively worse in terms of that, where it's like, no, you need to break these up into paragraphs, and people will be like, what?
Well,
And I'm like, you know that thing where you indent and you try and contain like an entire
no
thought?
idea what a paragraph is?
Well, they kind of know it, but they don't understand it, you know? So they've been taught to write in like 5-paragraph format or something like that. And it's a very mechanistic thing, okay? It's not like, well, what's the purpose of a paragraph? It's a vehicle for a thought, you know? Well, I don't know how you put it, but I usually, it's like, it's a single thought. So if I get it right off the bat, I don't have to read the entire thing. I can go on the next one. It's fine, you know?
well, okay, so the variation I get most often is, oh, so I just need to indent every 5 sentences.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's
God,
exactly what I'm
okay.
talking about. Yeah, thank you
Gotcha.
for putting that in a much better and much more concise way. But that is exactly it. A paragraph is 5 sentences followed
Yes.
by an indent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's terrifying. So
And you go, like, it's well, how long does it need to be? It's like, as long as it needs to be.
yeah, as long as it
What
needs
does
to
that
be.
mean?
Yeah.
It's like, sit down. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Now we have to go back a block, right? Okay, so what's a sentence?
Right. Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
do you write this?
Yeah.
What do you want to communicate with this?
Right.
Dude, I'm doing some serious proofreading, and I'm like, what do you think about this? I think this is 4 independent clauses in one sentence.
Oh my god, I get those all the time, man. So it's like, yeah. It's like, this is the most monstrous run-on I think I've ever seen in my entire 40 years of teaching.
So the way that I broke this down is like, all right, so we've gone through this to say, okay, what is an independent clause? It's like, well, it has 1 subject
Yeah.
and 1 verb and is a complete thought. It's like, okay, right. So you have 4 of these in one sentence. Do you know what you've done to me? It's like, no. I'm like, you've asked me to keep track of 4 subjects,
Yeah.
4 separate
Yeah.
verbs, and you said that this can be contained in one sentence. Do you have any idea what you've done to my brain?
Yeah.
How much you're asking me to keep track of?
Yeah, it's diarrhea of the mouth. Yeah. So,
Well, and I understand why, and I understand it. Look, for God's sake, when I ask, like, what do you use a comma for?
oh, nobody knows what commas are for anymore, man. Use them to separate items in a list. You know? I think that's.
I say, I may be totally wrong. I say, when you're speaking, whenever you feel like you took a pause, it's probably a comma.
That is so very wrong.
I was waiting for him to say it.
Because you know why? The second lesson on that is I have students that then say the comma with the dot is a deep breath.
It's a deep breath, yeah. I've heard that one.
A semicolon?
Semicolon.
Is
Yeah,
it
deep breath.
Because if
It's a
comma's
long
a
pause. It's a long pause, yeah.
Oh, dude, that's
Semicolons,
cool.
a deep breath.
All right, that's not cool, but it's kind of cool.
All right, we're 4 minutes over, man.
Okay.
Speaking of
yeah,
deep
just,
breaths.
All right.
Deep breath, deep breath.
Yeah, let me put a semicolon at the end of a sentence here.
That's the finish.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty healthy grammar rant that we all went on here. Any just final things you want to get off your chest before we?
No, don't get me started on passive voice again. So yeah. No. Let's. I'm leaving that one alone.
That's fine. If you want to save that, we can sticky that, put that on the fridge.
We'll save that one for a slow night.
Yeah, let's get those views up.
Yeah, with passive voice. Yeah.
Oh, Will. Anything you want to say about the new Broncos ownership?
There's money aplenty. Let's get Peyton into the fold.
All right, let's like that. Go Avs.
Go ahead.
Definitely
I'm
go Avs.
looking forward to see how they perform in the Stanley Cup final.
There you go.
The final.
True elitist.
And I learned something today.
No.
Thank you,
All right. I'm Pat.
I'm Will.
Jeffrey.
I'm hitting the button.